Hi, good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. This is Glamma with Glamma's Closet, talking about the lighter side of reselling and all other things involved in life. So this weekend was a very special weekend. First of all, I had my grandson Friday night. My husband and I took him out to dinner and took him shopping, and then we came home and had a wonderful time. So if you're watching, baby, thank you. Glamma and Papa love you. My nephew went to a school dance, and he killed it. He nailed it. They had like a something going on where it was like Mardi Gras or Rio or something like that. Um, was their theme. So he wore his beautiful blue suit that still fits him, and like a brooch. I think it was like a peacock or something brooch. Anyway, he looked fabulous. I saw the pictures. I'm so proud of him. He's just growing up to be a very handsome and articulate and just a thoughtful, great kid. And just know, if you're watching, and Aunt Dana loves you so much. And then yesterday, my husband and I went to my baby mama wedding, and I'll explain. We have a blended family. We have since the children were young, and my husband and I got married. And his ex was very, very, very kind to me in allowing me to share her most prized treasures on the planet, her children. And so we've always had a good relationship with her and with the kids, and we put the kids first. So that was the important thing. So yesterday, she married a guy that we finally all love and approve of for her. He's a great guy. We couldn't be more thrilled to add him to our family. In our minds, he kind of already was added to our family. And they've been together a few years, and last night they got married. So we went and had a giant family celebration. Of course, we bought out a bar and shut that down, and for a private party, and it was a ginormous private party. It was a wedding reception. It was just huge, and there was drinking, and there were slot machines in the bars, and there was gambling, and there was just a dancing and just a general feeling of joy. There was a taco bar that was fantastic, and pedophores of all things, and that was just lovely and fun and cute. So we had a wonderful time as a family. I got home, about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I went in the other room and just passed out peacefully, because people kept they were like, here, have a drink, and I was like, oh, okay. And then yeah, so I remember vaguely grandpa driving me home, and but it was just such a wonderful celebration of family, just surrounded by people that we love all night long, and it was absolutely fantastic. Couldn't have asked for a better night. So congratulations to my baby mama and her new husband. I'm not going to name names because they didn't ask to be on the interwebs, and I'm going to respect that. So, but congratulations to them. I wish them all the very best, and just know that we are so privileged, to have your love and to have you as part of our family. So with that being said, those are my intros. Good morning, Brenda Reed. Mwah, tackle hugs back to you, baby girl. Ashley Reed, the whole Reed family, really. It's a different Reed. Ashley, mwah, good morning, sugar. I hope you're doing great. Hope you're doing great this morning. I thought I saw Perla. There it is. Perla, precious Perla. Good morning, honey. Mwah, good morning. From the heart of the Midwest, I may still be a little drunk. Good morning, Michael, my angel. Mwah, good morning. It's good to see you. And Craig, sleeping at the back of the class again. Good morning, Craig. Mwah, don't let us wake you up. And the other Ashley, hello, good morning, sweetheart. How are you? I hope you're doing great where you are. Shh, Brenda, don't wake him up. Let him sleep. Let him sleep. He's a sleepy guy. He's a sleepy. Debbie won't let you. Good morning, Claudette. Hello, honey. Hugs. Mwah. Good morning. It's good to see you. And everybody's saying hello to each other. Drinking and slots are two things that you hate. Yes, you know me. Lucy, good morning. Mwah. How you doing this morning? And Linda. Hi, Linda. Good morning, Linda. Mwah. It's great to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. So yeah, it was a very late night celebration with our entire family, and we do know how to shut down the bar. Oh. So yeah, I woke up this morning. I was still a little fuzzy, you might say, just in case my mother's watching. Love Boo's video with Glam Mom. I'm telling you, my mother. Y'all don't understand. My mother she's an icon. She's a national gem. And there's a reason why everybody loves her. And it's because she's very, very lovable. She is. So my sales, okay, everybody's talking about how badly sales suck. And they kind of do on platforms right now, which is kind of the norm for it's kind of the norm for this time of year. Angry Otter, I'm going to star that and come back to it. It's kind of the norm for this time of year. And and so we have there we go. We do tend to have a slowdown between the back to school shopping and like the Christmas shopping. There tends to be a little bit of a slowdown in the market. And that's just a natural market correction. That's just a natural thing. So September brings with it a couple of things. It brings a fake fall, and then you go right back into like a week of 90 plus degree weather, just like we did last week in Missouri. And it also brings a sort of a fake sense of, people are buying for Christmas. They weren't. They were buying for back to school. Some of them might be buying early for Halloween, maybe for costumes and things like that. But September, I expect to be slow. September, I do expect that to be slow. Nonetheless, I had 10 sales this week. 3 handbags, 3 jeans, 1 intimate, 2 accessories, and 1 top. But all of my sales, none of my sales were above $25. So I made gross 142, net 106.51. Minus my cost of goods, we're at 76.51. And thank God there was an auction. I was on Johnny's Hump Day auction, so that helped me out right now. So we'll come back to those numbers in a minute, and we'll go over what's sold. But it looks like handbags and jeans are what's selling right now. How beneficial would it be for the reseller toolkit to scrub through your inbox for Poshmark, find all your shipping labels, and allow you to view print right from the tool? For me, I don't do much of that from my phone, but in general, I can see how that would be very, very helpful. By the way, Angry Otter, if you have a link that you'd like to pop in the chat, please don't hesitate to do that. We'd love to see it. Halloween is buzzing right now. Sales are very good this year at the stores. If you're not prepping Q3 with Halloween starting in August, you're missing out. Yes, that's true. That's true. Absolutely. So the things that I've been seeing sell for the past few weeks have been vintage items. There was a pair of like, fake opera gloves that came. They were like Forever 21. That I put $8 on them. Somebody talked me down to $5, and that's fine. It came in a ThredUp box. So I made $2 on that. Woo. Excuse me. After costume goods, after my average cost of goods, I actually lost $1 on that one. So the the costume stuff is selling. The vintage stuff. Vintage stuff is, and especially if it's like vintage 70s or Y2K, that stuff's selling this week. There is also jeans, and again, most of those jeans vintage. They're vintage looking or vintage inspired Y2K type of jeans, low slung jeans, flare jeans, that sort of thing. The handbags, again, there's like the Juicy Couture, which that's so Y2K. Dooney and Burke was another crossbody that I sold, and I think I sold something, a Lululemon bag that came in like a thread-up box. So overall, what I'm seeing are handbags right now. What I'm seeing are handbags, jeans, and things that would be part of a costume. And vintage, loads of vintage. Good morning, Jennifer Hayes. Mwah, it's good to see you here this morning, sugar. Thank you for being here. And I know you are, but what am I? I know you're gorgeous, but what am I? It's Craig's fault. I'm yawning. It is my very own fault. I'm the architect of my, excuse me. I'm the architect of this. I did this to me. So yeah, I can't, I'd love to blame somebody else, but I did it. I knew what I was doing for the most part. Yeah. Shelby Sunlight. Good morning, Shelby. Mwah. Coffees or mimosas? Yeah, I do not need a hair of the dog. I need a coffee of the dog. Good morning, Shelby. Thank you so much for your wonderful, sunny welcome. That was very sweet. I appreciate it. So I did have an auction this week, and I did want to say a few special shout outs to my buyers for this week. I had 5 buyers. I had Johnny with Cajun Roots Reseller. Johnny, thank you so much. Susie, Dragonfly Bees. I love her taste and everything. Susie, thank you so much for your purchase. Hey, Cops. Good morning, Jonathan. Morning, Jonathan. Mwah. I hope things are going well with you and your dad over in Copside. It is that time of year, guys. And they had a very, very interesting guest. Just last week, I think, and I was watching the show, and it was really cool. He was interviewing a ghost hunter guy, and it was just so fun. It was really fun to watch. I also want to thank Karen. I want to thank you, Karen, so much for your purchase. Cheryl Stevens. Cheryl, if you are out there, thank you so much for your purchase. I truly, truly appreciate your business. And my dear sister, Carrie, thank you so much for coming in, Aunt Boo. I do appreciate you as well. So overall on the auction side, I sold 8 items. It was about $76. After my cost of goods, which was $24, that was $52. So after my cost of goods for the week for Poshmark from September 14th to 21st, my total weekly total for Poshmark was $76.51. So that $52 helped push me over 100, and I made $128.58 this week. 51 cents, sorry, 128.51 this week, which is not a great week. It's not a great week, but it is fantastic that there's interest in my closet. It is wonderful that, when my buddies step in and they're like, hey, you want to do an auction? And I'm like, yes. So thank you, Johnny, so much. It was a privilege and an honor, and just a very good time being on the show on Wednesday. I appreciate it. In addition, not today, but next Sunday I'll be on the Two Old Guys Vintage and Resale auction. And that is going to be fun too. I like doing their show. There are a couple other shows that I am looking into doing as well. And of course, I will have my own auction on my channel. I wanted to do it in September, but it's probably going to be closer to October. Let's see. Spend a year in the most haunted location in Texas is probably enough for me. When you become friends with ghosts on a first name basis, you spend too much time in abandoned buildings. I don't know. Never had really the closest thing I've ever had to a paranormal experience was after when I was 19, my younger sister, not Aunt Boo, obviously, but our sister, she was 6 years older than my sister Boo and 2 years younger than me. And she passed away in a very tragic accident. And maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks later, I was taking a nap in my parents' bed. They had the most comfortable bed in the house, and I went in there and I laid down on top of the covers. Their bed was already made up, and I lay on top of the covers and just fell asleep. I just was exhausted, when you go through grieving and all of that. And as I was waking up from the nap, I felt my sister there with me. When we were kids, there were 3 of us to a bed because we were poor, and you throw all your kids in one bed, all the girls. So we had like a big full-size bed and the 3 of us. And so we had this thing where we didn't want to breathe each other's breath because nobody wants anybody else's funky breath. So we would all sleep in one direction, and then if we rolled over, we'd all roll over at the same time. Like one of us would roll over and the rest of us would roll over because nobody wants to breathe anybody's breath. The thing is that when you sleep with your sisters, it's kind of natural. When you sleep with anybody in the same bed, it's almost kind of natural to throw your arm over them. And so like when we would, you if we're facing left, we all threw our arm over each other, and then if you're facing the other way. And so that's kind of how we slept. And as I was waking up, I felt her arm over me, and I felt her like, just right there. And it was you would think that I would freak right out, right? Because I'm a spooky Irishman. You'd think I would freak right out. But honestly, it was the most comforting, wonderful thing. And I just woke with a wonderful feeling of love and peace. And I feel like maybe that was her way of saying goodbye. And that was her way of telling me, that she loved me and goodbye. I don't know. But I do know it was very comforting, and it wasn't spooky at all. And it was just, I just woke up, crying, but, happy tears, kind of, Let's see. Well, when filming in Yorktown, we saw full body apparitions, heard singing in the chapel choir loft, had a cigarette light up on its own. Wow. Let's see if we can recreate that experience. I hope you're not traumatized. No, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, cops. Jonathan with cops. They had. He did an interview with these ghost hunter guys, and this ghost hunter guy, and it was actually really entertaining. So yeah, you should go check it out. Where are these videos? I need to see these videos, right? Funny thing, Jennifer, a year of filming and lots of encounters, but nothing caught on video. Our batteries would drain quickly, though. Interesting. Regina, good morning. Good morning, love. How are you? I hope you're doing fantastic this morning. Look at Glam being a smart. Well, yeah, I'm a smart aleck. I come by it honest. That's all I can say. Oh, I believe this sort of thing. I've seen many things. My husband keeps smelling our daughter's favorite perfume. There's none in the house. See many things. It makes me smile. Dang ghosts ruining it. Ruining it for everyone. Yeah, there are more things on heaven and earth, Horatio, right? You just never know. You just never know. So the very best thing to do is keep a pure heart. I guess. I don't know. I'm probably not the guy to be giving anybody life advice. I'm still waiting for signs from my mom or daughter. You never know. You never know when it's going to happen, Jennifer. My husband said our ghosts are active last night, stomping around the upstairs. Are you sure those weren't your kids? I don't know. My dogs will do a lot of that too. Oh, Jennifer, Brenda has a question for you about the auction. Our ghosts are active last night, stomping around in the upstairs. I don't even have an upstairs. Like I have like a half an attic where we store like Christmas stuff and stuff like that. But I don't really have an upstairs. It's like a flat ranch. So yeah, that would freak me out. I would also be a little concerned about what in the world has snuck in. I would think it was a raccoon, honestly, or like a possum, or one of those things that sneaks into your house. Nothing upstairs. Oh, only him and I in the house and the two dogs. As is as it is in a remodel state, only the studs. I wonder though if maybe you woke something up with the remodeling. Like we remember Beetlejuice when they were trying to remodel the house, and then it was like, if you start singing Harry Belafonte songs, let me know, Regina, because we got to see that. Oh, you'll be modding for Colleen. I love that. We did catch a still photo of a cowboy ghost in the old saloon in Wesachi. I'm going to say Wesachi. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. That was cool. He looked to be in the 60s. Building is from 1890. Wow. Yeah, Michael, you got to send me that photo. I got to see. Not a show me state thing. It's just I got to see. I want to see. They have, guys, if you go on YouTube too, if you really like to be scared, go on YouTube and watch real ghost videos, and you never know. But it is kind of fun. It is kind of fun. And then and we were just talking about, it's that time of year to go to haunted houses. Now, here's the thing. Most of the people who work in haunted houses, you have to keep in mind, most of the people who work in haunted houses are just unemployed teenagers looking for some extra cash. Or got people who are just in love with the idea of Halloween, and this is like their thing, and they're, volunteering to work in a haunted house or whatever. So I asked my husband last night, because I was thinking about it. I was like, hey, can we go to a haunted house? Because I love haunted houses. My brother and I, you may have met Lena Towers. My brother and I, when we were kids, we went to Six Flags, and they had a haunted house up. It was like October, I guess, or September. They had their haunted house was up. And we went in and we went through and we got scared, and it was fun. And then we went through again and we just kind of got bored. And at the end, there was this stand-up coffin thing. It was like a fake coffin. And nobody was in it. It was just a fake coffin, right? So my brother and I hid in the fake coffin and would jump out at people. Oh, he got me into so much trouble when I was younger. Half the stuff I got a whipping for was his idea. You bought your first piece of milk glass. Yay! Do you love it? Does it go with everything? Was it Nubby? What kind of milk glass was it? I can't do Halloween haunted house stuff. I'm not scared, but I may hit someone if they jump out at me. I mean, I would hit them if they illegally touched me, but that wouldn't be like an accidental hit at all. So yeah, I'm like, just don't touch me. Don't touch me. You don't want to touch me. I am that grandma. But yeah, so we went to a couple of years ago. I went to a haunted house with my friend. who is like 5'11", and her daughter who's like 5'11", and her daughter's friend who's also tall, and me. And we all go to this haunted house. Now, I am, just for reference, about 5'5" and shrinking. We go through this haunted house, and I've got the 3 tallest women in America crouching down behind me going, ooh. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm the lead guy and the lead guy through this haunted house for the jump scares, right? Yeah. And I didn't really look afraid, because I'm never really afraid, because like I said, it's a bunch of underpaid teenagers in makeup, and yay, go you. So I'm like walking through and I'm observing things or whatever. Meanwhile, behind me, there are 3 huge, tall women who are just peeing their pants scared. And so I said, honey, I want to go through a haunted house where I'm not the point guy. I'm not the guy who gets slaughtered first. I don't want to be the guy in the front of the pack trying to protect the rest of them. I'm not that guy. I'm like 5'5". I'm an old fat grandma. I'm 5'5". I can't protect anybody. I mean, I could if they were my grandkids, I'd shoot somebody, but that's a totally different story. And I'm just like, I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be the brave one. That's not what I go to haunted houses for. I want to be the, shrieky, oh my stars and garters. I want to be that guy. So my husband agreed to go with me, because my grandkids, I asked my oldest granddaughter, I said, hey, we're going to go to a haunted house. And she's like, no. I said, fine, I'll ask your brother. And I asked her brother, and he's like, no, not really. And I'm like, you don't know how to have fun. These kids don't know how to have fun. Ellen, hello, good morning. Happy Sunday. Mwah. Yeah, so my husband and I gonna end up at a haunted house, probably with that same friend and her husband, because somebody's got to go with us. Yeah, we're just gonna look like old people in a haunted house who really, I mean, okay, when you've experienced, enough of life, teenagers in costumes don't really scare you that much, but I love the anticipation of hopefully a jump scare, where I don't see it coming and then it's boom. I hope that. I like the adrenaline rush. It's fun. And then at the end, you have to walk through a stupid gift shop to get out of this haunted house. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Marketing 101. And I consider it a really, really dumb gift shop, because they didn't even have bottled water. Do you realize you can buy bottles of water, in multi-packs, right? Like big multi-packs, and then sell them for like $2 at the end of a haunted house. People will buy them. So yeah, kind of dumb. I feel like not dumb, but a missed opportunity for sure. I would have done it differently. I'm just saying. I would have been selling water and I don't know, something scary. Anyway, that's me on Halloween. I do love Halloween. I really always have, and it's always fun, for me. It's 3 days before my birthday, so that's fun too, or 4 days before my birthday. And it's just a joy for me. So yeah, don't be surprised if you find me in the dark dressed up if Halloween happens on a Sunday, or if it's near a Sunday. I took my little brother through the basement of Madame Tussauds, and a girl about 5'2" in a straitjacket followed him the whole attraction. He was terrified. I laughed so hard I couldn't breathe. If they know that you're scared of them, it's like dogs. If they know you're scared of them, they're going to come after you. That's hilarious and also creepy. I love that. My goodness. Whew. By the way, does anybody else get like internet stalking? Like, okay, here's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about somebody like stalking me because they have a channel or anything like that. Here's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about donating to like a charity or some sort of a really great cause, one time and then they bomb you with requests over and over and over and over again. My spam box is so full of stuff like that. And it's just like, I mean, like donations to, people shelters or pet shelters, or, donations to yeah, all sorts of stuff. They just eat, right. You donate one time, and you even click on the one time donation, and you click off of the button, send me more information, and all of that, and still they're stalking me. And then I get I get it on my phone. They call me on my phone, not call me, but they text me on my phone. And then some dudes are like, hey, we want to buy your house. And I was like, no, you can't buy my house. I'm still living in it. I still need it. And they will not let you go. And then I'm on some buy your house call list, and neither my husband or I have signed up for any sort of buy your house thing. And I'm like, why? Stop trying to buy my house on for Monday. I'm still using this house. This is my house. Good morning, Maria. I hope things in Cali are wonderful. My box is full of those requests because I do so many charitable events. That's the thing. If you do them, if you donate to them, I don't know, I'm being stalked by a diabetic supply companies every single day, calls and emails. Yes, right? And maybe you looked into it for a friend once or something. You go, girl. Never been a Halloween fan. Costumes are always a hassle. Skulls and ghosts and such, not my cup of tea. Oddly, my bestie's birthday is Halloween. So still a reason to celebrate. I like that. Same here. Yeah. They just say, you I don't know, you make one donation, you got, oh yeah, Jennifer, that makes sense. You buy one thing from somebody, and all of a sudden now, I bought some jeans from Old Navy, and now every single day I get Old Navy emails in my spam folder, and I'm like, would you please stop filling up my spam box and stop filling up my computer and my text messages with all of this crap? If the price is right, moving could be in the cards. I mean, the price would have to really be really, really right. And I don't think, unless they drill oil on this property, I don't think the price is going to be right. I'll be in Boston this year for Halloween. I really want to go to Salem. Ooh, okay. They had a bunch of young ladies tripping balls and getting people killed. Sure. You have to unsubscribe to the spam 80% of the time it works. I will have to check that out, Ellen. I started using the prepaid envelope and return the junk mail. Once I do that, they stop mailing me. Nice. Way to go, Maria. I'm going to have to, that I would try. Or just draw maybe a little, a little picture. Here you go. Like that, and just, I don't know. I'm not a very good artist, but it's a cactus. If you could just send them a picture of a cactus. Just be like, look at this cactus. I get them and their sister company calling and emailing me every day, even after I talked to them and told them she doesn't even use that pump. She's got a different one. Yeah, right? Yeah, that's my favorite kind of cactus, I'm a cactus artist. I'm like, here, I've got something for you. No, I'm not going to do that. It's something for you. Is it working? Yeah. Daisy, good morning, sugar. Good morning, Dee. If they drill oil, Glamma and Glampa will be like the Beverly Hillbillies. Probably. Nah, here's the thing. I can't see us changing all that much. We're far too old and set in our ways. And we really have already talked about Like, if you were able to buy a mansion, would you? Because the heating and cooling bills alone, the upkeep on that, right? You would have to have a gardener because nobody could take care of a big old lawn like that. You would have to have, somebody to help you clean that house because that's too much. That's too much dusting for one person. And then you would have to have upkeep on a ginormous house, not to mention the monthly bills would be so high. And we're just not, nobody who needs that much space. We don't need that much space. We're not that big. Even if I won the Powerball, I don't think, honestly, I'd just have them kind of, just come in and fix up the parts of my house that, could use some fixing, but that's about it, really. We don't want a boat for the same reason. People buy boats and then they just dump money after money after money into these boats, and it's crazy. Good morning, Mark and Michael. Good morning, my two old guys, vintage and resale. The prettiest thing in Missouri this morning. Love you, love you. I wish I was one of the funny ladies I see doing shorts on messing with spam callers. They crack me up, their accents and sass. I have actually done that. My friend and I, she sat across the table and we would answer. We were just hanging out talking. And we're old friends. We could do that for hours, right? We're just hanging out talking. And anytime the spam, if we got a spam call, we'd just answer it and put it on speakerphone and just mess with them. Yeah, it's fun that way. It's fun when you do it with a friend. Everything's more fun with a friend. That's more my family. Appalachian hillbillies. Glamma already has style. She would be like Dolly. She's like, I patterned my style after a hooker. Boats are holes in water that you toss money into. I really believe that. And don't come after me if you've got a boat. Congratulations, good for you. It's just not an investment that I think is in my life. It's not a necessary investment. I don't live that close. I mean, I live close to the water, but we're talking about the Mississippi River. You wouldn't get a boat for that. If you have a barge maybe for sale, I don't know. I guess I could make some extra money on the side, but. Hey, kids, I'm trying to work this phone. That must be Michael. Hello, Michael. You want a boat? You can have one. Make up a sob story and fake cry for the spam callers and don't let them get a word in. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah, we pretended to be kids and we're like, hold on, I'm going to go get my mom. And then she's like across from me going, making the little pitter patter. Just like messing with them. It was just fun. It's just funny. Yeah, it is. They're fun to mess with. Oh, I watched these people that build stuff. They just bought a barge and made it into a summer home. Wow. This next generation is very inventive when it comes to this real estate market. They're making like tiny houses. They're living in their cars for a year. They're doing all sorts of stuff. Van life. They're building stuff out of stuff. They're like, oh yeah, watch me build an entire house out of like, I don't know, like found wood or 2x4 frames or whatever. No, you don't, Jennifer. Like Ellen said, it's a hole in the water you put money into. That it does sound like that. And don't get it twisted. I like a good boat ride, but if somebody else has to provide the gas and oil and upkeep and marina docking money, and if somebody else has to pay to get the barnacles scraped off of it, just so and I only have to pay $50 for a ride in a boat, I'd rather pay the $50. Then I get the boat ride. Plus, I don't have to drive. Plus, I don't have to, put a boat in a marina. Gina, hello. Mwah. My friend has a 26-foot Mako, and it seems like every dollar he makes, he has to put 75 cents into the boat. Yes, right? Like it's just a money pit. It just feels like. It feels like they are. My dad made a living repairing boats for folks, mostly fishermen in Maine, yachts. Well, that's just stupid stuff. Boats are worse than sports cars. Yeah. Didn't Pete Davidson buy a ferry randomly? That sounds like it's something a Pete Davidson would do. Yeah. My dad had boats. You're in Delaware, right? So, yeah, I know everything breaks. Yeah. I mean, if it's a casino boat, so much the better. I'm not complaining. Yeah. They break too. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Um, the thing is too with like, I mean, there are certain things that like to have one nice classic car that we could tool around in, sure, sure. Um, but nobody needs, nobody needs multiple cars per person. Nobody needs a Ferrari. Nobody needs that and I don't. The things that make me happiest in life are so either cheap or free. And one of the things that makes me the most happy is just thrifting. Just going thrifting. Like I'm going thrifting with my mom this coming week. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I can't say anything. My car has been a money pit. I miss the Camaro. Just saying. Yeah. Sometimes you get a car and it's just lemon. It's just money after money. Thank you, Maria. Please more thumbs up. Yep. I have kayaks. I may have to paddle, but they are paid for, and I don't have to put gas in them or repair them. See, that's the thing. I mean, you may have to repair them eventually or do some upkeep or something, but yeah, I can see that. If you can paddle out, sure. Thrifting with Glammaz should be a hoot. I think it will be. And she is okay. The woman is, she's got macular degeneration. So as she goes along in life, her vision it's not as keen as it once was, which all of us have that, we're all headed in that direction. Nobody's going to be able to see 2020 forever. It doesn't work like that. But to this day, she can still find stuff that she likes, and she can still find cute stuff in a thrift store. So she is OG. I learned at the knee of a master. I did. She knew her stuff. And she would get, when we were young, she would get 100% cotton sheets. And she would get them on thrift, just bleach them out, hang them out to dry, wash them, bleach them, hang them out to dry, and then she would iron them. And what happens when you iron a cotton sheet is that it almost feels like silk. They're so soft. And it was one of those tiny joys in life that I love. A fresh, crispy, soft cotton sheet. There's nothing better than that. And that's cheap. Some of the very best things in life, the smell of baking bread. I love the smell of bread baking. Sometimes we would come home from school and my dad would be in the kitchen and he would be making bread. And it was the best smell. You walk into a house with the smell of fresh baked bread, and you go in that kitchen and you get you a hunk of fresh baked bread with a big old slather of butter on it. And it was the best thing in the world. Best thing in the world. I have a 65 Corvette. It may be die-cast, but I have one. The important thing is that now you can tell everybody I have one. Hello, Finding Treasures. Mwah, happy Sunday. Bread, brownies, and cookies. Yeah. Well, Michael says cotton sheets for winter, poly sheets for summer because they're much cooler. I disagree. I actually like cotton sheets year round. They're my favorite thing. Yeah, there are some things in life that make those little moments, and they just make your day. Like one little thing could just make your day. You hear the right song, you smell something wonderful. My mom would have giant, big, almost saucer-sized roses. She could grow a rose. She was so good at growing stuff, and she could grow a rose just like that. And I remember in the summertime when we'd be coming up the front stairs to our house, and our house was a small house, big family, small house. And we'd come up those front stairs and you could just smell those fresh roses. They were everywhere in the front and they smelled so good. And it was just that was the smell of summer for me. I have a scar on my left ankle. Whoa, from a 65 Corvette exhaust and a smaller matching one on the other calf from a Harley. My goodness, Ellen, you've gone on some adventures, haven't you, honey? Yes, you have. She grew incredible kids. Well, I'd like to think so, but time and our children's therapy will tell. The Camaro was so much fun, and the maroon color would turn heads all the time. I love that. Jennifer, my ex had an 89 Porsche. I love driving that car. It's the only thing I miss about him. My husband did buy his midlife crisis car. He bought a 68 Pontiac Firebird, and it's a convertible, and it's bright red. Beautiful, beautiful car. It's out in our garage, which he also bought for the car. So, but it needs some work. It's not. We can't afford to buy a cherry, and wouldn't anyway. It one in cherry condition, so it's kind of loud right now. It needs to have the exhaust redone, and my husband's been tinkering with it and working on it, and it's really, really cute. It works. I mean, we've taken it to go get ice cream and stuff like that, and we always get the head turn because it's a bright cherry red convertible car, and it is an old one and a very, very classic one. But we just that's his midlife crisis, and if that's his midlife crisis, I am fully behind that, guys. Trust me, I've seen midlife crises take a much worse turn. I would love to get an Aston Martin maybe one day. Well, keep paying those mechanics and eventually. Okay, so after last night's celebrations, my tummy is not feeling 100% this morning. Ours was not a convertible nor a classic. It was an old car they could afford to pay off. That's, you drive what you can afford. Well, trust me, we drove a lot of old cars before we finally sort of hit a midlife level. So yeah, I get it. But I'm not feeling 100%, a little dizzy, and my stomach's starting to churn. So I am going to go ahead and take my leave of you for this week. But if I can leave you with anything, it is this. There is no celebration like a family celebration. And it is, it's definitely worth the price I'm paying today, which is probably going to end up being a lot heavier price than I anticipated, because I'm old now and you can't do what you did sometimes. I've been feeling weird like that lately too. Yeah. I'm wondering if I'm actually coming down with something, because I do have grandkids and I do hang out with them. And they have school, and schools are like petri dishes. Yes, I do have a little bit of a hangover as well. Yes. I don't get that. You get some sun and find a reason to smile today. You are my reason to smile today. And I hope that everybody has a wonderful week. I wish you all the best. And no matter where you go, no matter what you do, don't you ever forget, Glamma loves you. Bye, guys.